Welcome back, everyone, to Fit to Lead. I'm so glad you're here with me today. It's been a while since I last recorded, and I want to be completely honest with you all about what's been going on. Since December last year, life has thrown some curveballs, to say the least. I had to go back to the UK for a funeral. I then moved house, and I've had a recent health challenge. Alongside that, I've been navigating that dreaded perimenopause, something I didn't really fully anticipate. And I want to be real with you. There were days I just didn't want to do anything at all. Some days I couldn't even summon the energy to train or keep myself with my usual routines. But instead of beating myself up, I gave myself permission to really take some time to rest. And that was a turning point for me. I realized rest isn't actually failure, which for years I've always felt guilty about resting because I thought that I needed to be on the go all the time for me to be able to succeed. But obviously that's not the case. And I've realized that it's actually part of a process, and it's something we all need, especially when we're juggling so much in our lives and with all the curveballs we're thrown. And sometimes we just do need to take a big step back. In today's episode, though, I want to talk about how I'm starting to rebuild small, consistent habits, even though life sometimes feels really overwhelming. With my job as a cabin manager and a mum, and someone navigating midlife challenges, to say the least, I know it's easy to let my self-care slip. But each small step, like a 5-minute stretch or a short mindful walk, which I've been doing, or just sometimes a few sort of short, deep breaths in the morning has kept me anchored. And that's what I want for you to, if you are going through any of life's challenges at the moment, I want to be here to help give you some ideas on what you can do to make those small changes. It doesn't mean that you have to throw yourself straight back into what you were doing beforehand that's made you exhausted. It's about finding those small things that really is actually going to help you, your mind and your body. I also realized through my whole journey through this, I've realized that consistency, it's about being flexible. So you have to be flexible to obviously have consistency. I know, like, I've been building up a lot of consistency with training, eating, and the way my days were like planned. But I've actually realized by taking a step back that being a bit more flexible actually helps you a little bit more. It's not about perfection. And I think that's something that we all think, that we all have to be perfect all the time. Well, I did anyway. I had that mindset of, if I'm doing something, I actually need to be perfect at it. Otherwise, I'm going to fail. And that's actually not the case. I've realized over the last few months that I can build up some consistency, but not be perfect with it. And that's actually okay. It's really about adapting, like, in unpredictable times. So obviously, you know, the passing of loved ones, you know, that's not structured, and you don't know that beforehand. Sometimes it comes as a bit of a shock. So you do have to adapt in situations, even though they're, you know, completely unpredictable. So, you know, like I said earlier, like, I've just been finding small things really have been helping me. I'd like you all, like, if you are struggling at the moment, or you find that you have come to a bit of a standstill and a bit of a, you know, gone off track, I guess, off the beaten track, they say, I'd like you to have a pause for a moment and have a think about a small thing, like a consistent action that you could do and commit to for a week. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something that reconnects you to yourself. So, like I mentioned before, mine was a walk. I just put my headphones on and just go for a walk. And sometimes I didn't even want to take the dog. That's how I was. And I thought it's actually okay. I don't need to. I can just go if I want to go on my own in my own thoughts. It might just be taking yourself off and with a book and sitting somewhere and just reading, or just people watching. Sometimes I don't know about you, but I like to just sit and watch people. I'm fascinated, absolutely fascinated, just by watching. I think that no judgment at all, but just watching people and how they are, and you know, and then you realize that we're all only human and we all do the same things, and sometimes we're just a little bit harder on ourselves than we need to be. So it's not about being perfect, is what I'm trying to say. It's really not. And it's about finding one small thing that you can be consistent. So that may be this week. It's the start of a fresh week. Say Monday morning, you get up and think, okay, what's one thing that I can do that I can stick to for 1 week only? That's it. And it may be, okay, I'm going to have a walk 3 times this week. And then that's it. Just make sure that you go on that walk 3 times. Doesn't matter when. Could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Could be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Could be at the weekend. Just make sure that you go 3 times when it suits you, when it works around you. No stress, no pressure. And then at the end of that week, look back and think, wow, that sense of achievement. I have just walked for my 3 times this week and I've managed to fit that in. And the achievement, the sense of achievement that you get out of that really inspires you to then go, okay, well, week 2, I'm going to continue with my walk. But what I'm actually going to do is make sure I have one good nourishing meal where I have some vegetables, some proteins, and some good fish oils. And I'm just going to have one meal a day that serves me well. And then you go on from there. And that's just how we start slowly building. And you may not find that you're going to stick to that plan, but you're starting to get momentum and you're getting some consistency. And that's what it's about. When you have some consistency, you get a sense of achievement that you've done something, and it just makes you feel really good inside. I think what lets us down in life is when we've got no direction and we haven't set ourselves a little challenge. So, like I say, only has to be minimal. You don't have to say, right, I'm going to the gym 6 times this week. That's just not an achievement. That's not going to get you anywhere. And you, the 9 times out of 10, you're actually going to not complete that. And then you're going to feel crap at the end. So that's why I say, if you're feeling like I'm feeling at the moment and you can relate with me, then I'd really, really love to hear what it is. You can DM me or you can leave a comment on this podcast, because I really want to know what it is that you are going to commit to for this week and where we can grow together and continuing on with the podcast and helping you work through some kind of structure where you can feel really, really good about it. I'm really excited to take this next step with you, and I'd love, love, love for you to leave some comments, like I say, or DM me with some ideas and share what you're going to do this week. And just turn up for yourself, show up for yourself, just make it small. And yeah, I'm really excited to watch and to see where this takes us. So I will see you in the next episode where we can continue on talking and sharing our experiences. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Fit to Lead. I really do appreciate you being here and taking the time to listen. If you have enjoyed it, please share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might find it helpful. And don't forget, you can grab your free guide. The Busy Body Blueprint is packed with food ideas and practical tips to help you stay on top of your health, wellness, and mindset. To stay connected,
Follow me on Instagram at Fit to Lead Podcast or head over to oscastnetwork.com for more. Thanks again for listening, and remember, stay fit to lead. Oscar.